to my channel. Today I have a monthly message for all of the Geminis out in the collective. Please note this is going to be a general reading, so it is not going to resonate with every single Gemini out in the collective. I ask that you take with you what resonates and leave the rest behind. If you are new to my channel, welcome to Eileen Into Spirit. My name is Eileen Rouse. I am a psychic intuitive, a spiritual coach, and a sound healing practitioner. So without further ado, Gemini, let's go ahead and dive right into your monthly message. So Gemini, we are starting out with happy. Okay, love this. Oh, a higher view and wailing tree, reconciliations. Okay, this is interesting. Okay, so Gemini, here is what I'm picking up for you this month. I feel that this month it's really about you gaining a different perspective. So right off the bat, when I look at these three cards, Gemini, I feel that this is going to pertain to a relationship. I feel that in the beginning of a specific relationship, everything was happy. Everything was moving along very well. Both parties, both situations, there was nothing that would have given you the insight that something terrible was going to happen, or that it wasn't going to be the type of relationship that you expected it to be. Now here with the wailing tree and the reconciliations, I feel what this is saying is that, you know, apart from what happened in the middle of the relationship, now, once we do the tarot, I'll know for sure whether this is about a relationship, but this is kind of what my intuition is telling me. I feel that whenever we have certain individuals in our lives and the types of relationships that we have in our lives, we have to understand that those relationships come into our lives based off of contracts that we set prior to coming here. So the goal ultimately with relationships is for us to see things from a different perspective and to learn the lesson. Because I'm here to tell you, Gemini, until you learn the lesson, you will repeat it over and over and over until you learn the lesson at hand. So let's go ahead and dive right into the tarot, because I want to see if this is really pertaining to a relationship. Because this wailing tree, I feel like one person in the relationship really played the victim. Okay. And I feel that that is the reason why Spirit is really wanting you to look at it from a different perspective, see a higher view, allow your intuition to really speak to you in regards to maybe this person that was the victim in this relationship, or that constantly cried wolf, right? Maybe this individual had certain other things that were going on in their life that they ultimately couldn't really speak to. Maybe they didn't know how to express themselves. Maybe, you know, the things that transpired in the relationship between the two of you ultimately was something that set them ablaze, right? Maybe it was a trigger for them. Maybe it sort of brought up something from their past or something internal within them that they ultimately needed to heal. And I feel that what is transpiring here with the reconciliations is I feel that this is about forgiveness. Overall, I feel this is about forgiveness. Forgiveness of how we treat each other, or forgiveness of how we reacted. Understanding that, you know, sometimes when individuals are in a relationship and there is someone that is deeply wounded or deeply hurt, there's grief going on, right? There's mourning. There is a loss of something deep and meaningful. And it's really about looking at it from a different perspective, seeing things through the eyes of love. That's whenever I see a higher view, it always puts me into the remembrance of being the observer and seeing things through the eyes of love. So let's go ahead and dive right into the tarot here. So Gemini, okay. We have the 10 of Wands. Yes. So I feel that there's a lot of burdens here, a lot of suffering. Like I feel it might be needless suffering because the 10 of Wands is really about we often pick up burdens. We feel it's a responsibility that we have to carry, right? And maybe one of you in the relationship here really felt that it was your responsibility to help them start something new or to move on in some way. Yeah, this is about a relationship. Already, I can see it. Okay. All right, so here's what I am picking up here, Gemini, just with this first deck. Yep. Just with this first deck already. The 10 of Wands, the Ace of Pentacles, the King of Wands, the 10 of Cups, Page of Swords with the 5 of Swords. So Gemini, I feel that in this particular, this could be for some of you. It doesn't necessarily have to be for all of you, but here's kind of what I'm seeing. The King of Wands is someone that is very confident to a point that they can often be very narcissistic and very stuck on themselves. And I feel that in this relationship, you, Taurus, might have felt like it was your responsibility to change this person. You took on the burden of helping them see themselves in a different way here with this Ace of Pentacles, right? You were offering them a gift. You were giving them an opportunity. You were offering them something that ultimately you felt they would give you something in return, because what you gave them was your time. It was your energy. It was your attention. It was your love. You just wanted that same kind of love in return, right? And I feel that the lesson here that you're needing to understand is that the way that someone is or who they are is not your responsibility to change them, okay? Because here with this 5 of Swords, what the 5 of Swords actually speaks to is winning at all cost. And I feel that ultimately, when these individuals come into our lives, right, they're here to do their job. And their job is to fulfill their contract, to help you learn what you're needing to learn. And I feel that what you're needing to learn here, Gemini, is that you're needing to see things from a different perspective. And the different perspective is recognizing that you are not responsible for anybody else's journey or life or experience in this world, other than your own. It's about holding on to a certain sense of integrity and self-worth and knowing that winning isn't everything. It's not about, being the last one standing, right? Because when it comes to relationships, you can't own someone. You can't, because then again, your intentions aren't really pure when it comes to that relationship. If you're trying to own someone and make them become who you want them to become, then you're manipulating the situation. And I feel this is what you're needing to understand. This is that higher view, that higher perspective that you're needing to see here. It's about understanding here, Gemini, that the only one responsible for your own happiness is you. You're the only one that can make yourself happy. Someone else can't fill that void for you. Someone else can't make you feel whole or complete. You have to find that deep within yourself here, Gemini. And I feel that, whatever this relationship was or whoever this person was, I feel that ultimately this was a very powerful person that you looked up to. You had a lot of faith in this person, and you felt like this person was really going to build something with you. But this is what you're mourning. I feel like you're mourning this loss of this relationship because you're like, I can't have what I truly wanted. It was there for the taking and it just didn't go well, right? It didn't work out, right? But if you're looking at it from the perspective of if they just would have, understand that that's trying to manipulate a person to be who you want them to be instead of accepting them for who they are and seeing them for who they are. So let's dive a little bit deeper here, Gemini. Okay. So, and I feel that a lot of times when that happens, we ultimately, we feel that, I don't know, it's almost like we want to sort of pick up, right? Like in our own minds, somehow, some way, we want to sort of feel like, I don't know, I guess I feel like a lot of times when we feel it's our responsibility to mold someone or to change someone, or to heal someone, right? We want to be able to boast about that. We want to be able to say, I did that, right? But here's the thing. People are not going to change unless they ultimately truly want to. And they have to want it for themselves, not because it's something that you want. And if they're doing something for you and not for themselves, then it's not really for the right reasons. And I think that ultimately, this relationship was truly, look, you got another page of swords right here. Yeah. I feel like you're not really learning here, Gemini, and I don't think you're seeing it clearly. And yep, look at that Tower moment right there. Okay, here's what you need to know, Gemini. I want you to know that if you're not seeing this clearly, if you're not seeing it from the perspective, it's sort of like needing to see it from the perspective of the hangman, right? Looking at it from a different point of view. Putting yourself in their shoes, right? Really seeing through their lens and asking your guides, asking your angels to give you the guidance, right? To help you see things so that you understand, right? So down here we have the High Priestess, the King of Swords, the Nine of Pentacles, the Three of Wands with the Page of Swords. Again, the 2 pages of swords here. So I want to point out here that a Page of Swords is really about learning from the past, okay? And I want you to understand here, Gemini, that you will repeat the lessons. You will repeat them until you truly and utterly understand them. And I have a feeling here that this might have been something recent. And I feel like, understand that, you know, you might feel that this relationship has totally, has knocked everything out. Like you feel like your whole world is falling apart. But understand that, that it was meant to happen this way. The one thing about the Page of Swords that I feel a lot of people don't really know when it comes to the Tarot is that the Page of Swords represents contracts. So understand here that your intuition is needing you to sort of take the high road, okay? The King of Swords, with this Muse of Voices, the King of Swords is really about taking charge. You have to take charge of your own mind, your own thoughts, your own perspective. You have to take charge. Your intuition is trying to help you see behind the scenes. It's trying to help you understand this relationship, this situation, so that you can understand that when it started falling apart, when things really started falling apart, it was because nothing was solid. Your foundation was unstable. And the only way that you can build upon a foundation is when it is steady, when it is secure, when it is built on solid ground. And I ultimately feel that this relationship was not meant to stick around. It was really meant to just teach you. The Nine of Materials, and I do want to point out here, Gemini, that I do feel this relationship was very codependent. And it might have been that you were very codependent on this other person, because the Nine of Materials really speaks about pre-Empress energy, okay? And it's really about independence, and it's about knowing your worth, knowing that you have everything to offer, that you are full of life and that you can blossom and make everything grow, right? And I feel that ultimately this individual who was very narcissistic in a way sort of depleted that in you. So I feel that the ultimate lesson for you here is recognizing, understanding that this was a contract. This person came here to get you to ultimately see things this way, not to allow it to completely deplete you, because I feel like you are letting the experience of this relationship sort of hinder you from seeing the potential in other relationships, right? And it's the reason why you're not really having the kind of luck that you would ultimately want for relationships. So this is what you're needing to see, Gemini. It might not be the answer that you ultimately want, but this is the message. This is the message, loud, 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 loud and clear. Again, really ask yourself to, I think a great exercise for you, Gemini, would be to really set aside some time, right? And close your eyes and ask your spirit guides to really show you. Just say, what am I not seeing in this relationship? What am I not wanting to face? And I feel that if you just ask that and you be still and you just listen, you might be surprised what actually comes up. So Gemini, this is going to be your message this month. I want to thank you so much for joining me today, and I look forward to seeing you next time with your new message. Bye, guys.